welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a summer makeup look. I just want something really fresh on the skin and I just want it to be glowy and really pretty. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. If you're interested, go ahead and keep on watching. Go ahead and keep on watching and watch it good. And whip it into place. Whip it up. Are those the lyrics? I don't even know. Let's just get started. So all the products I'm going to be using today are pretty much drugstore. So if you can't get a hold of these products since it is still quarantine, I got you. Just run to your Walmart and you can get most of these products besides the eyeshadow palettes, because I don't really have any eyeshadow palettes from the drugstore. I do have the bite-size shadows from e.l.f., but I'm gonna be doing a full face of e.l.f. soon. I'm just waiting on another product to arrive and I will have that video up. I'm gonna be using my Wet n Wild Prime Focus serum, priming serum. I don't know, this stuff has glitter in it, but it's the only drugstore primer I really have. I guess I have my Milani. Should I use my Milani? We'll use the Milani. We'll use it. Okay. For primer, I'm going to be using the Milani Rose Primer Prep and Hydrate. So I kind of want a more hydrated base. I have a dry skin. I also have oily skin. So it kind of depends on the day and what I need most for my skin. I did decide to try it out a little while ago and I do like it. It is very hydrating and it feels good on the skin, but it says lightweight base, but I think it's a little thicker than lightweight base. So I'm gonna let that sink into my skin and then I'm gonna start on my eyeshadow first. I'm gonna be using two palettes today. I'm gonna be using the So Jaded Kathleen Lights and ColourPop eyeshadow palette. I am going to be dipping into this bad boy right here. It's very pretty. If you don't have that palette, I'm also going to be dipping into this palette, which I love this palette. It's the Jaclyn Hill palette, the first palette she had. Just looks like this. I have really hit pan on some of these. I love this palette. I'm just gonna be dipping into both. I'm gonna be using the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear concealer just to prime my eyelids. I'm gonna be blending that out with my e.l.f. sponge. This is my favorite sponge from the drugstore. I am going to be dipping in to this shade right here. It's called Creamsicle and it's a yellowy, it has a hint of orange in it, but it's really pretty. That's the first shade I'm gonna be going in with. And I am gonna go straight in. I did not set that concealer. And I'm just running that in my crease. Do I just want to use my, I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. Will I even dip into that ColourPop eyeshadow palette? I'm not sure. So I'm taking that on a M441 and I'm just rocking that into my crease. And I'm going pretty far up to my brow bone. You don't have to go up this far, but with the shape of my eyes, I like to bring my shadow up a little further. I am taking this up to my brow bone. I'm kind of rocking it in that outer corner right here. I want this look to be pretty blown out. I don't know if this is necessarily an everyday eyeshadow look because I'm pretty basic on an everyday basis, but when I want to look cute on a summer day and I'm like going on a date with my man or to dinner or something, which we can't really do that right now, but this would be something along the lines of what I do. And I have quite a bit of real estate here, so I bring that out pretty far. If you don't have that much space on your lids, you don't have to bring it out that far, but that's just what I do. Now I'm going to take a pretty dirty, it's not super dirty, it's not super clean either, it's a mystery brush. It's very soft and it bends so easily. It's just a big fluffy brush. I'm gonna go over those edges just to make sure everything is nice and blended out. I don't want any harsh lines. Like I said, I want this to be a nice blown out eyeshadow look, so I just want all those edges to blend seamlessly. Now that I have that color all nice and blended, I need another eyeshadow brush. I need to get more of M441s. I use M441s by Morphe all the time, and I only have 2 of them. I need to get more because I'm constantly using those brushes. I think I'm just gonna be sticking with my Jaclyn Hill palette today. I don't know, there's just something about it. I haven't played with it in a while. I used to use it constantly, but I'm going to be taking this second shade, and it's called Butter. Why did I say it so weird? So I'm gonna be taking that on this outer corner and into my crease. I'm gonna be keeping it lower than that first Dreamsicle. I think it's called Dreamsicle shade. I'm gonna be keeping it lower because I don't wanna lose that yellow, because I just think that yellow is so pretty. So I'm just gonna be rocking that right under that creamsicle color. Ooh, looking nice and summery. I love a good summer look. I just wanna look pretty, and I don't wanna use too many shades, so I'm probably gonna stick with just these 2 shades in the crease. Something super simple, nothing too crazy. You don't have to be an expert to blend these colors, just because it's a couple colors and you're not doing anything super advanced or crazy. So I'm just gonna be taking that in the outer corner again and swooping it into the inner corner, just keeping it really nice and low, bringing it onto that lid a little bit with small circular motions. So I'm just going back over those edges with that first creamsicle color and just making sure everything is blended and making sure I'm not losing that yellow shade, because I do definitely want that shade to be nice and here, prominent, nice and dominant. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Ooh, what shade do I want to go with? So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this shade called Little Lady. We got that gold, that pink in there. I think it's gonna be really pretty on the eyes. Okay, I'm gonna top it with that lighter pink shade called Faint. It does not look faint. My palette is so freaking dirty, by the way. I want to lighten that color up just a little bit. It's like a really pretty color, but it's showing up so different on camera. Ooh, that is a pretty pink color. I'm gonna go over those edges with that second shade that we ran in the crease, just because I don't want to lose that color. Okay, so now I got pretty much my eyeshadow down. I'm gonna finish up the lower lash line when I got all my foundation on and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna leave the eyes as is for now, and I'm gonna finish them up later. But for foundation, I am going to be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. It's the dewy one. I used it in my 10-minute makeup challenge video. I called it L foundation, but it wasn't. It was the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, and I really like this. I mixed the 2 shades because they're just all over the place, and my body is so much darker than my face and neck. So I typically go for a darker foundation, because if I don't, it's just gonna look so much lighter than my body, and I don't want that either. So my chest is still pretty pale too. Like the front part of me just does not tan, but my arms are so freaking dark compared to my face and my chest, and I don't know why. It's a lot of foundation. Let me just scoop some of that off. I hate that these are spatulas. I don't know why they don't just come out with pumps. I think it's ridiculous. I don't know why they would do that, but Wet n Wild, you're probably not listening, but we need pumps. Maybe other influencers can be like, hey bitches, we need a pump. We need a pump, because This just ain't working. Just not working, sis. I also like to do my foundation after I do my eyes because I can get messy with my eyeshadow and then just go ahead and not have to worry about messing up my foundation. So I didn't used to do, let me just put a little on my neck and stuff first. But I used to be a person that did my foundation first. I'm like, how can you guys do your freaking eyes first? And then I switched and I haven't went back. I'm gonna be using my Instant Age Rewind by Maybelline. I'm gonna do a dab of that. A little dab will do ya. And then just a little bit of this. The e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer and then the Instant Age Rewind Maybelline Concealer. I'm mixing the two because I just like the finish of both of them. I haven't really used that Age Rewind concealer in a while. I used to really like it, but haven't used it in a while. Ooh, that looks good. Okay. My base is starting to really come together. I like the combination that we got going. It looks real nice. And I like doing a little lighter of a concealer. I don't want to go stark white because then it'll look real crazy, but I still want to brighten without it being like in your face, you know? So I'm just gonna be putting a little doop, doop, and doop. And a little, mixing the two. I mix everything. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Glad to have you here. I am a mixologist. Okay, that's not far from the truth because I bartend too. So I mix my drinks, I mix my foundations, my concealers. I mix all kinds of stuff. And whatever I have left on my sponge, I'm just gonna be putting it right here, right in the center. So my base is looking really good. All those products are really melting in beautifully. I am going to be taking my L'Oreal Invaluable, it's a foundation stick, but I'm using it as a bronzer today because I like cream bronzer. I just think it looks more natural than powder. So I'm just gonna be doing a little tiny teensy bit of cream bronzer. I'm using the shade Cocoa. I wish more drugstores came out with cream products. Like, none of them have cream bronzers or cream highlighters or blushes. Like, the only company that really does that is ColourPop, which I really love ColourPop, but it's like, why aren't you guys coming out with more cream products? Because I would be buying all of them. Like, none of them are coming out with cream products, and I feel like people nowadays are liking cream products more, so I'm like, what are you doing? You're slacking. All right, so for powder, I'm just gonna be setting my under eyes very lightly because I want this makeup look to not be super heavy, even though like I did accidentally put on too much foundation. My base is still looking really nice and flawless. So I wanna go ahead and set it. You can set it heavily if you want, because I know some people melt in the summer. I'm gonna be using my Collab powder. It's Set the Stage Soft Focus Translucent Finishing Powder. It's a mouthful, but that's what I'm gonna be using. And make sure I don't have any creasing. You don't wanna have creases. And just start from the outer corner and work your way in. Gonna lightly set my nose. Looking pretty good. Look at these crusty lips. Have you been looking at these crust things all this whole time? Ugh. I am terribly sorry that you had to look at that the whole time. Ugh. Okay, so I'm gonna be going in with a Milani bronzer. It's more cool tone because it's in the shade 01 Sunlit. Okay, so since I did that bronze with a cream, I'm gonna be using this to not contour, but a little bit. I'm just gonna be going over that bronzer a little bit. And then I'm gonna be hitting my forehead. You can't really see it because I do have my hair parted in the middle, but I don't wanna miss this area up here. Just gonna be hitting that right under the nose. Then I'm gonna be taking that and like kind of going over the nose and going more in like the center of the face. I want to look nice and sun-kissed. I'm taking that pretty far onto my cheeks. And then I am going to be going in with my Rimmel Maxi blush. As always, I love this blush. So I'm just gonna be dipping into that just a little bit. Because this is really, really pigmented, and I'm gonna be hitting that all on my cheekbones. I'm even bringing it pretty far onto the center of my face. So I'm gonna be nice and blushy today. I am going to be going in with my NYX High Glass Moon Glow illuminating powder, highlighter. I don't really know what to call this stuff because it's like a putty. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like the ColourPop Super Shock formula. If you've ever tried that, it's similar to that. But I mean, I use my brush on it and I use my sponge. It works with both. But here, we'll go in with a sponge. Just kind of dab it. Ooh. I just love this highlighter. It's so freaking pretty. Put down the nose. This little cupid's bow right there. Now that I got all of that on my skin, I just look nice and glowy. I am going to be finishing up the eyes. So I'm going back into that Jaclyn Hill palette. All right, I'm gonna be going in with a E17 brush by Morphe. And I'm gonna go in with that yellowy orange creamsicle color first, tapping off the extra and running that on my lower lash line. And I'm connecting that lower lash line with that outer corner so everything kind of blends together really nice and seamless. And I'm bringing it all the way into this inner corner. So on a smaller brush, so on a smaller flat little defining brush, I don't even know what to call it. I got it from BH Cosmetics, but the logo and everything is pretty much wore off at this point. So I don't know, it was in a brush kit, but I will link a Morphe brush that is similar down below because I know you can get this kind of brush in pretty much any brand, but it was in a little kit and I don't think they have that kit anymore. So I'm just gonna be lining that lower lash line, keeping it nice and tight in there. That's what she said. So just getting that nice and tight up against that lash line. We don't want to get crazy with this color. Okay, and going back over that with that first shade, creamsicle shade. Just making sure those edges are nice and blended. Taking that color a little lower. Okay, so now that we got all that blended out on the lower lash line, I'm going to be taking my favorite BH Cosmetics little detailer brush, and I'm going to be going in with those first two shades in the Jaclyn Hill palette. As always, these two shades are just perfect for inner corner highlights and brow bone highlights. Ooh, it's the perfect two shades. I just love them. I have tried other shadows and other palettes and I always go back to this one. I will take this palette on vacation just for these two shades because when I don't have them to highlight my inner corners and stuff, I feel lost. Like, they're the best. So hitting that brow bone just to make sure we are nice and glowy everywhere. That's one thing I love about summer. I love to be glowy. I'm not scared of the glow during summer. I want all of it. So I'm just going back over that just to make sure it's nice and blended, nice and blown out. We didn't lose it when we did our foundation. Just going over those edges, bringing it pretty much into my brows because I have so much space up there. If I don't bring it up high, it just looks incomplete and off. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows off camera because I don't really use any drugstore products on my brows. I just use the 24-hour brow setter by Benefit, and I'll be right back. Now that I have those brows slicked into place, I'm gonna be using this dreaded Rimmel Lash Accelerator mascara. I like it, but it stays wet for like 20 years. And if you guys saw my last video, I will link it up here. It just made that video fail because it was so wet and it just did not dry. In my defense, I did kind of fuck it up because I set it into place, and when I set it into place, it was still already wet, which I only had 10 minutes. I should have put it on before I set it, before I put my mascara on. That's my fault. Anyways, I'm gonna be setting this with a Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. You already know. So now I got that setting spray on. You can use a more heavy duty setting spray. I'm just out of literally all my setting sprays. I have used up all of them. So I only have that one. You can use the Milani setting spray. I don't remember what it's called. That Milani setting spray is really good. That'll make your makeup last if you're looking for a drugstore alternative. I just don't have it right now. I used all mine up. The Urban Decay All Nighter is really great. I'm just using my Morphe one. I'm going in with that mascara. Okay guys, I just finished putting my Rimmel mascara on. Still not a fan. I mean, it looks pretty, but it's not my favorite drugstore mascara. I've been testing it out, and I think my conclusion is that I don't love it as much as I thought I'd love it. So it's okay. It's what I have on hand, and I wanted to test it out, and I'm just not sold. So that's that on that. But if you know me, you know that I love being a little on the low maintenance side. I don't like putting a lot of lip products on, especially in the summertime. But in the summer, I just like to throw something on. I like to throw chapstick on a lot of times, non-tinted chapstick or tinted, or I'll just throw on a gloss. So my go-to is my Burt's Bees tinted lip balm in the shade Hibiscus. I don't know if it's the shade or the scent or what, but it's in Hibiscus, and I love this one. It adds such a pretty tint to your lips, and it's perfect for summer. So it comes in many shades, so if you don't like the shade and you want something similar to this for summer, like you like the idea but you don't like the shade in particular, they have many shades to pick from, and they have all kinds of stuff. So okay, the camera's making it look a lot brighter than it actually is. It's like a Your Lips but better color in person, but on camera it's looking a lot brighter and a lot more pink than it is. In person it's more of my lip color, which isn't super dark or anything. So all right, well, this is my completed makeup look. It's super pretty, and I love how the eyes turned out. I think it's very fun, especially for summertime. Little pops of color, but overall this makeup look turned out so good. I love it. I feel super pretty and summery today, besides this black t-shirt I got going on. But besides that, I just love how this makeup look turned out. So it doesn't take a lot of money to feel pretty and to do really nice makeup. You can use inexpensive products to achieve this makeup look, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.